is up everyone? So as promised, I will be doing some test hands for Endymion, so this is going to definitely take a long time since this is a pendulum deck, so there's a lot of combos, a lot of thought process going on, so let's just get started. Alright, so this is definitely very interesting. Firstly, we do have Cerberus, so I'm just going to activate Cerberus in the pendulum scale because there's nothing there. Oh, that's interesting. We also got Mythical Institution. I kind of want to activate that right now as well. So what I'll do is I'll activate the Mythical Institution and I'll play the Mythical Beast Cerberus and use its effect to destroy him, sending him to the pendulum zone face up. That's just a bit of glare. And then this gets 2 counters. So from that we could actually add Jackal King. And then from here we could also activate the Jackal King and use its effect to destroy it, which now this goes up to 4. And we can bring out the Master Cerberus, make sure it goes into the extra monster zone. And from there, let's see, what else can we do? We can activate Servant of Endymion. We'll normal summon the Dark Worm, and Dark Worm will obviously add our Gate 0. And let's see, from here we could Link Summon, which will allow us to go for Electromite's effect, allowing it to send something from the deck to the pendulum zone. Let's see, what could we send? We could actually go for the Magister here, because it could actually do quite a bit of things. So I'm going to send Magister, since we already have so many other things there as well. So yeah, it's fine. And we'll shuffle a deck. We can then activate the Supreme King Gate 0. As a result, this will get 1 counter. And then we could use Electromite's effect to destroy Gate 0, which will allow us to add back our Magister. Because the pendulum monster was destroyed, Electromite's effect goes off, we get to draw a card. We get another Servant, so that's not bad. Let's see, what else can we do here? We could also activate Magister, which will put this up to 2 now. A little bit short, so kind of unfortunate there. However, we can definitely do quite a bit of things here. For example, we have pendulum summoning options, so that's pretty cool. And this is also between 2 to 8, so we can definitely do quite a bit of things here. So let's actually think about this carefully. I'm thinking, yeah, why not? We'll just do a pendulum summon right now. So we can only bring out 2 from the extra deck, unfortunately, but Master Cerberus is already out of the picture since it's level 8. So we could bring out Jackal King, which will go here at the end of the zones, and we could also bring out either Supreme King Dark Worm, or we could bring out Gate 0. I'm actually going to bring out Gate 0. So we'll leave those 2 up there. So we've got Gate 0 and Jackal King, and they both go into the zones pointing. And from the hand we could also bring out Servant, and we could also bring out Endymion himself. So that's definitely very nice here. At this particular point in time, what I'd like to do is I'll take the Gate 0 as well as Endymion himself. They're both level 7s of course, so remember that. And we could obviously XC summon to go for our Absolute Dragon. So from there we could take Absolute Dragon plus Electromite and Link Summon, which will allow us to go for a Link 3, in which case we go for Metaltron. You could put him on the opposite side to open up 3 zones now, and then Absolute Zero's effect will go off, special summoning out Vortex, which will give us a bit of space here. And we just put this near the end here, so it's definitely very nice. If your opponent happens to have some kind of monster in the field, you can bounce it back as well, so it's definitely very nice. But at this point we do have a negate, and we also have another monster negate. So right now we've got 2 negates on the field, so it's definitely quite nice indeed. You know, now that I actually think about it, I might actually take that back. So instead of going for the Zephyr Metaltron, let's actually keep the Electromite on the board, which means we don't go for the Link Summon, which means these are on the board. And we don't go for the XE Summon, which means these 2 are still on the board. And instead, let's just keep the Jackal King, and let's go for Endymion, Gate 0, Servant and Electromite for Link 4. And that will allow us to go for Yugioh. In which case we now have 4, so we're going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we get to return 3 of them back to the bottom of the deck. So let's see what we actually got here. Interesting. So I'm definitely returning this to the bottom of the deck. If I have this, then I might as well return that, because it could also search itself anyway, so that's fine. So right now, it's whether or not we want Duelist Alliance or One Day of Peace. I'm thinking we could actually kind of +2 with the Duelist Alliance, so I'm thinking let's actually get rid of One Day of Peace. And then from there, what we could do is we could activate the Duelist Alliance. So this will bump this up finally to 3, and as a result, Magister also gets 1. And of course, Duelist Alliance allows us to add. And then this goes to the grave, of course. So yeah, that's quite nice indeed. At this particular point in time, we now have Servant of Endymion, so we use its effect, remove 3, bring it out, and so we'll get at least 1. And from the deck, we get something else as well. So let's look for it. Our second Jackal King. So we're definitely going to be putting it into one of these zones. So because of that, he'll at least get the boost of Yugioh. But he also gets a count as well because of Servant's effect. But we'll link summon these two. So I'm going to link the Servant and the Jackal King. And together this will allow us to go for a link 2. So in this particular case, I'm thinking maybe we'll go for Daybreaker. So Daybreaker, if link summon, you place a spell counter, and it gains attack based on how many spell counters it has, so it's completely up to you there. Let's think about this for a second as well. What else can we do? We could finally go for the Pendulum Paradox, which will allow us to add Jackal King back, and we also have to add back Cerberus, which is not a bad thing. No, that's great. So now this counter goes up to 2, and Jackal King goes up to 3, because it gets 2 counters for every spell you activate. So that's definitely quite nice. So now we have these 2 in the hand. We could actually use Yugioh's effect to special summon out the Jackal King. This will potentially give it power. You could put it somewhere else, it doesn't need the power, but because you might want to go into further link summonings or other plays, but overall that's not too bad at all. I kind of don't want to activate Cerberus onto the scale, so maybe I'll use Institution's effect. Let's just see what we actually can get. I'm thinking get Basilisk. That'll definitely be a good move, so we'll remove 4, and we'll add Basilisk to the hand. So because of that, we'll activate the Basilisk onto the scale. As a result, this will go up to 3, which we remove, special summon it out, and something from the extra deck, so we'll bring out Endymion into the open zone, of course, and they each get at least 1 counter. And yeah, that's pretty good. So right now we still got a few more plays. We got Basilisk's effect, allowing us to return this, destroy itself, and shuffle this into the deck. And we get to draw a card. So we get Spell Power Grasp. Oh, and because we also activated a, because we destroyed a mythical beast as well, this also gets 2 counters, so another 2 counters for it. But at this point we have 3 negates on the board. We got this one here, and another one here as well, so it's definitely quite nice. And you know, we could actually just activate the Spell Power Grasp, so we might as well just give the tokens to, well, let's see what we can add it to. So Spell Power Grasp, I think I'll give the counter, let's see, I'll give one of the counters to, yeah, I'll give one of the counters to this. And then of course, yeah, I'll give the counter to this, so it puts at 3 now. So where's the 3? There it is, so now it's at 3. This will go up to 5. This here will go to 2. So put this here. And what else do we have here? I think that's it. And of course we get to add another one from the deck. But yeah, that's basically our field. We have 3 negates, and we also have boosted up monsters that can definitely do things. If this is bounced back anyway, then he gets more counters. Again, this one will always allow us to search for more cards. Overall, our opponent will definitely have a very hard time actually getting over this particular board here. Oh my god, that actually turned out to be a lot longer than I thought, so yeah, I might actually have to cut this into part 2, despite the fact that we just only did one combo in this particular test hand here.